Hello everybody, look at that. I'm actually a minute early. Every time I'm a minute early, I make up for every time I'm a minute late, right? So, uh, the Stellar Saphir won in the poll, so say hello to Urihime, who is actually not wearing her normal outfit because it turned out to be in the trend today. And we're just gonna go ahead and get started with our next main quest that I've been putting off for, apparently, how many percent? 30%, just doing dimension halls. So right now we've actually got a decent number of events going on in Navia, but I've been quite busy, so I haven't had a chance to check anything out. But we're doing main quest because Eileen is here. Oh, look at that! I think they fixed those notes because previously they used to be different levels listed. Right, so we've got our Eileen buff. I've still got the festival buffs from last time. Oh, and I've got some gear that I grabbed. I wasn't even using a nocturnal harp. And what else should we get if we're doing quests? I mean, obviously we want to use that. But I think we should also grab like 30 quest experience books. And we'll just spam those as we go. Alrighty. Yeah, as usual, I'm going to be prefacing basically everything I do these days with I'm using a new keyboard and it's weird, so my gameplay is going to be all over the place right now. Yeah, I'm actually doing a basically I found a kids typing class online and I'm just doing that. At some point I won't be able to use this excuse anymore, but that day is not today. Honestly, they released that new dungeon, the S35 four boss dungeon, and I went in on my warbow in pretty pathetic gear. And it was a mess. I literally could not use the right skills on everything, which is the same issue I had when I was getting some footage for my gunslinger for that last video I put out. But it is what it is. Oh yes, and I'm linking some idolons right now too. The 5-minute links are over, so unfortunately it's going to take a little bit longer. Rather, it's going to take twice as much time to finish links now. Oh, oh yeah, I missed the... I already missed the 5-minute links. Do we actually have to wait for him, or can I just run ahead? Kind of feels like I gotta wait for him, huh? Hello, Stilo. Drop Nova? Bond dungeons are gonna be last, so my begging for your luck on my drops isn't going to be for a little while yet. Oh, I suppose I should probably move that window over. There. What's the opposite of look at him go? For how slow this guy is? His contract is the one in Paragon right now, actually. I think he's pretty cute. And I wish we had that sword as like a weapon. 45 days tried, 0 results. You know, been getting shockingly lucky on the Bond dungeons myself lately. I mean, obviously, I went through a really long dry spell, and then I started getting a bunch while the person running with me wasn't getting any, but now it seems like we're alternating pretty fairly. Shoot, I should put this on a spot where I can use it. Yeah, the last time I did this series of quests, that is, there was an issue where you'd have to change channel to get certain NPCs to spawn, so I guess it'll be worth checking to see whether or not that continues to be an issue. Alright, where's the F key? Alright, now the real challenge. 4 is my skill that gives me 3 star patrols. But I think on these mobs it's not going to make that much of a difference anyway, because I can't get to them in time to use 3 anyway. Gosh, I love Stellar Sphere for the range on Star Patrol. That's why I play Dark Star, or Stellar. And my gear is kind of pathetic. I'm actually using I'm using a sniper set. This is actually my sniper set from back in the day. Back when plus 20 was cap. And as you can see, I don't even have any trophies. I could probably just nab some with dragon points or something, though. But obviously it doesn't seem to be that much of an issue here. I suspect the dungeon will be fine too. I'm not expecting to solo the party mode or anything, though. You may as well get some fragments. I got a lot of gear fortification to do. Just while we're here, I better lock some of my gear so I don't accidentally break it down. Ugh, every time I actually have to type words, I have to look down to get my hands in the right position because I'm not used to the shape of this freaking keyboard. I think the funniest thing is that I actually pulled out my old keyboard again because I was getting frustrated with a certain dungeon, that new dungeon, the S35 new one that we just got in the last patch. What? Am I supposed to use this on the mobs or something? I wasn't paying attention. Yes. Okay, so yeah, I switched over to my old keyboard to try and get the just get through the dungeon with really bad gear, and I can't even use a regular keyboard anymore because the layout is just breaking my brain. So I've got to get used to the new one. I love everything about it except the fact that I can't type right now. Observe. Wrong button. Yeah, I bought 30 quest experience books because I'm pretty sure that there's 30 quests per map on the later ones. But I can't remember whether or not I've actually remembered to use them on every single quest because I just forget. Okay, find what I don't like about this little back zone here is that you have to double jump to get out. But if these guys aggro on you, you can't get out. Because you can't double jump. Oops. Didn't mean to do that, but... Oh, shift 2. I don't know how I did that. My shift key is down there. Can I just knock him from over here? Feels like they're not responding as fast as they normally do. Oh, hello, Plinko! I know I'm competing on a very competitive live stream slot. You had to choose to be here instead of watching the WAN show. Hello, Robo. The waifu in the thumbnail is New Year's Anubis. She's pretty. Yes? Yes, she's pretty? I'm linking her today, so I decided to throw her in the thumbnail. Look at that beautiful link animation. And I ran right past the quest turn-in. Now, if I remember correctly, it was this next section where the NPCs wouldn't spawn on certain channels and you just had to jump around channels until you found them. Oh, sorry, actually, someone else told me that you could get them to spawn by just running away and coming back, so we'll try that too if they don't spawn. Actually, I think it was Plinko that told me that, so... maybe not yet, because I know that it's Karis around the fountain. Kind of annoying these over here, but... Oh, you know, this has move speed. We may as well use it, huh? Alright, this is where I'm talking about it, where it says talk to Karis, and it leads you there, but there's nobody here. Apparently, if you just run away and come back... Hey, look at that! That worked. In my defense, if you watch the movie, or if you watch the screen, Plinko, you will see that I had just done that at the same time that you were already explaining it, so it's not that I forgot what you told me last time, I promise. I was trying to wink, but I'm not very good at it. Is that the most important reason for me to have the chat on screen, is so that you can see whether or not I've actually remembered something, or if you've reminded me of it? Actually, I had a, Hello, Camster! I had a different version of, of like a chat box before that somebody helped me set up, but it actually it stopped working for a while, and they sent me a message, the person that helped me set it up the first time, saying that they managed to get theirs working again, so they'd give me a hand, but I just I haven't gotten around to it because there's other stuff that I'm working on. And this works fine, right? Needs you. My mouse cursor on it too, I suppose. So if I'm right about it being only 30 quests per map, we are about a quarter done. How come the flame geckos are so spread out? How did I manage that again? Do I ever skill on a weird button? That was shift. Oh, it's on freaking 1. I keep missing 1. How did I do that? That makes much more sense. Oh, right, yeah, because I did her. I used her, I used this combo skill for the thumbnail, so yeah, I put it on 1 so that while I had the UI off, I could still hit the skill without trying to remember what button it was on. Although, frankly, I don't even really need skills here. Alright, well my quarter done seems to be a bit of an or an underestimation since we are already inside the dungeon. Wow, this is going to be less than like... less than 45 minutes to finish both maps? Oh gosh, it might even be less, or around half an hour on the nose. In solo mode, these guys are fine. But I really do hate the reflect in party mode. And that's why I'm pretty sure that we can't do it in this gear, which is obviously level 70. Sniper armor? We can try. I don't mind dying. But given my current inability to use a keyboard, these guys have reflect, and I don't have any proper idolons because I'm linking. Where is the spawn idolon button? I'm not gonna hold out too much hope that I could beat this in party mode on this character right now. Maybe we're gonna just wait for these guys to pop up so I can knock them all out. Alright. Did it freeze? I don't know. It looks like it's updating to me, Blinko. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I squint, the live stream is super tiny on in the YouTube box on my screen over there. But if I squint, I can see your message. Or do you mean my in-game chat box, which I've got cleverly hidden behind my character? Skill issue. You know, I've actually never really been a big fan of that as an insult. Which is worse, get good or skill issue? She outside? Yeah, she's outside. Alright, but before we go any further, I am going to try to run party mode. I think hell is right out. I don't think I've got very much, Alright, take a quick peek at my stats. I mean, obviously, less than 1 million damage here. My archive's pretty good, so this is fine. Yeah, Camster, I know skill issue and get good are kind of the same thing, but I just kind of feel like get good implies that we want you to get better, whereas skill issue is like, well, sucks to suck. I mean, actually, I've got 56 armor piercing. Oh, what the heck, we'll go into hell mode. I'm not anticipating we'll beat it anyway. Alright, yeah, that's pretty... issues. Also, hello, Beetle fan. The nuances of online gamer insults. I don't even have any food on, that might help, but... Alright, so for these guys, as long as I keep them back, they won't be able to trigger their reflect mechanic. But I am struggling to manage that at the same time as remembering what button to press. Oh, jeez. Yeah. We probably want to stack our tones properly. Right, gonna hit you with a 4, then triple 3. Right. Oh, sorry, I'm just, I'm locked in. Ah, he used it. Ooh, we got him. Now, if I was being... Oh, shoot, I didn't even relink her. If I was being smart, I would use this opportunity to switch to an idolon. That would actually help me, but... We're locked in. Now, as for what stellar liberation we want... I mean, I feel like this is probably going to be our best bet. I don't really need more pen or armor piercing, so we'll just turn off all those. If you're not familiar with how Stellar Sphere works very well, you can actually deactivate the other buffs so that you don't accidentally switch to them when you tap your button by just right-clicking on them. We'll save that for the boss, though. Oh, shoot. He targeted her, so he got the skill off. just as a reminder, my armor sucks, okay? Just... I actually don't even have a card inside my my costume properly because the costume I normally wear is on the trend special, so I had to take it off. I guess I could pull it out for the dungeons, but I have to remember to put it back. Alright. Oh yeah, that's plenty enough for shield breaking. It's the rest of the boss fight I gotta worry about. Probably use this now. They change the trends every week. It's just that they accidentally put the costume into the quest experience one. Normally it's the body costumes are the second trend and the hair costumes are the first trend, but they goofed it and I'm not going to complain because I don't have the hair that matches that costume. Shoot, I don't want him to reset or something, but I could probably use another one of these. Jeez, I didn't think it was even going to be remotely possible to beat this. You know, I do recommend Stellar Saphira as a good class for people to choose if they're new, so, you know. Maybe it's just that I'm doing a... Maybe it's just that I'm doing a good job of recommending a class for newbies, but this is actually significantly better than I was expecting. One is female chibi, the other is male boy. You know, it's entirely possible that it's intentional, but I don't think so, because they have always done all hair and all body sets, and then it's just that you'll have one for each, or like the matching hair and the costume over here, right? That makes more sense to me, but like I said, I'm not really complaining because otherwise I don't have any of these hairs. Actually, do I have this one? I might. You know what? I do have this hair. I have that hair on Atosh. They have messed it up a couple times before, but yeah, like, it's only a week, it doesn't matter that much, and I can wear just a different costume for 1 week. We could probably grab some more mobs this time, because they don't have any annoying effects. Oh, also, hello, Arrow. Thanks for stopping by to watch me suffer. If you didn't catch, I'm currently in level 70 armor here. And struggling to hit the right keys on the keyboard. See, I got a little overconfident there because there's no reflect anymore. That's fine. I'm in for a penny, in for a pound. Now I'm going for it. Now I'm going for completing this dungeon. I hate that S30 trophy that have a accessory icon. Which one? Also, hello, Martin. Oh yeah, Canada doesn't have pennies, but I actually have I have a mug full of pennies that I saved because they make good tokens in like games and stuff. For example, you can use stones for it too, like just little rocks. But I have a Mancala board, and I think the last time we played, I just used the pennies. Actually, it's been a really long time since I've played Mancala. Yeah, I think I was biting off more than I could chew here. And wrong order. Ugh. I can only blame the keyboard for, let's say, 2 more weeks? And then you can start saying that it's actually a skill issue, okay? Alrighty. Boss boy. Oh, this guy's got healing, doesn't he? Hardware different, the hardware being your nervous system. Well. You know, it is 10 years of muscle memory that I'm trying to overwrite. Specifically for Aura Kingdom. Oh, I probably could have used the healing one, huh? So, like, a couple years ago, I got an ortholinear keyboard, and every new game that I play, I learn to play it on that keyboard because it's just so much more comfortable for my hand than a regular keyboard. But I never really bothered to learn. Oh, come on. I can't story time and do it at the same and fight at the same time. Let's grab some feathers, shall we? I've got enough LP for it. Yeah, 15 is fine. And then while we're here, we're gonna grab a warehouse card. Oh yeah, so I had an ortholinear keyboard, but it was just like a left-hand pad, so I learned all my new games on that. But I don't bother... Rather, I didn't bother to learn Aura Kingdom on that one, because, like, what's the point? I need all the rest of the keys for other stuff, right? So we'll just kind of do that, and then we'll put this one in here and do that. So that's 1 triple strike food and 1 detail damage food. Hello, Segoya. Oh, Seogia. Sorry. I got this, don't worry. We're fine. Probably throw that there instead, I think. No, we better leave that one there. See, we're fine. I just gotta lock in. And, you know, stop hitting the wrong keys. Oh, is Anubis stunning him for me? Oh, hold on a second. That was a one-hit kill. Ortholinear means that the columns are all in straight columns. So if you look on a regular keyboard, like for example, your WASD keys aren't lined up the same way that the arrow keys are. Oh, I bought feathers and then I localed anyway. That was a one-hit kill, so maybe we do need to pull out a defensive idolon here. Oh! Thank you very much, Miketsukami. Hold on. Is that... Hold on, I just need to check this. Personal Warehouse of Philosophia. Hey, that's 9 out of 10 for her 3-star. Very nice. It's actually not cursed. It's just different. So, anyway, now that we have the opportunity, rather than going DPS, let's go for a support Eidolon, which is something that I very, very rarely ever do. So, who the heck is a good support Eidolon? Someone with HP? Somersault. She's got a nice... Okay, so... I know Miketsukami just gave us a fragment, and now we're at 9, so we should probably keep her in there, but... It's alright, we're going for Santa Idun. What button is my access eidolons? A little bit more HP and some crit damage taken down, because I'm pretty sure that was crits that were killing us in one shot. And if we still can't beat it, we'll switch over to a defensive Stellar Liberation. And then if we still can't beat it, perhaps we should move on, because I have been in here for 15 minutes already. She's got a nice long stun, right? Oh yeah, somebody send me some food. Oh, no, you don't. Yeah. Thank you, but it's one frag. I'll get it in another link. Oh shoot, I should be stacking my... Oh, you know what else we can do to avoid that thing? I completely forgot. Okay, so it was the tracking circle that was one-shotting me. So when he uses that skill... we just gotta do that. No sweat. Oh shoot, he's using it again. Oh, but I survived this time! See, if I wanted to try and time stuns in this, that might work too. Oh, I suppose you're right, I could do that as well, but then I have to remain close enough to him. I didn't time that very well. I completely forgot that she had an immunity skill too. I was looking for just the survivability. No, he got me. Sorry, you're right, it's Santa Amaterasu, and my brain is a bit fried here because I'm so distracted by the fact that I keep losing. Alright, I can mess with this while I'm dead? Yes, I can. So, who's got high defense? Lasts for 6 seconds? Alright, we'll try that. I think that should be the best one. That's debuffs. Healing. Alright, we'll try this. Oh, I suppose that was a little overkill to use now. Ugh. Do these respawn if I just kill them? Because those are the things that recover as HP, right? Imagine using the mechanics. Okay, so I probably should have been stacking my ballad. Okay, so that time I did manage to get her immunity skill off in time. Oh, he uses that pretty frequently once he's below. on. I keep hitting the wrong button again. Is it gonna... Oh geez, he is healing a lot when I stop to kill those things. Think I might prefer... And it's not even hitting when I try that. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm making any progress here, huh? Every time. He heals back up. So, hold on. What we're gonna do... Hey, bud. What you doing over here? No, he's still healing quite a bit, so I am gonna run away. I don't know what you mean by Wrathborn style, but what I was thinking is I should probably check my masteries here. I could probably use some more masteries here. Hello, Resident! We are currently suffering in this dungeon that I really didn't think we were going to be able to beat, and then I decided I wanted to try it anyway. Reduce targets received healing by 30% when attacking. That sounds like that's going to be helpful. And, yeah, I should probably see if I can just quickly nab and upgrade to my deep blue. I don't know if I require a special item for it, but... Nope. Sure. It was that easy. Alright, let's go again. Oh yeah, now that you mention it. But I don't think that was slowing down his healing when I ran away. Actually, does the debuff one have reduces target's healing? Doesn't look like it, so. Alright, buddy, come here. Wait. No, I don't feel like we're making any progress on that with the healing either. Right? He was healing way too much, and I think the DPS loss, because I don't have enough defense reduction, is probably not worth switching to the reducing healing one, but we'll keep going for a bit and see what happens. Oh, shoot. Standing in fire hurts. Alright. Yeah. Alright, so we are gonna actually try to use a proper Eidolon team here, except that my Eidolon switching is gonna be miserable because I don't have easy access to the buttons for it. So, here's a good dark Eidolon to bring in here. Since I don't have my premium one. I mean, she's not even fully properly re-rolled yet. Alright, we're gonna try Vestibus. And see whether or not just out DPSing him will do the trick. So we're going to get rid of this mastery for healing. We're going to go back to break defense because I'm pretty confident I'm not capping my death, but we do still need to survive. That's the part that we need to do, huh? Alright, well, we'll see what happens. Alright, that's going to be my plan, is we're just going to have to use the mouse pad, or the mouse, to swap Eidolon whenever he's about to use that skill. Which is not going to be easy. Oh, one more shot and then we'll move on, because this isn't a good productive use of time. Okay, I just moved this up here. Oh, I'm targeting the wrong thing because I accidentally hit tab. Quality gameplay from somebody who knows how to use a keyboard. I will admit, I'm getting a little more comfortable. And I hit tab again when I didn't mean to. I'm not entirely positive I'm out DPSing his healing. Yeah, I don't think I'm out DPSing the healing. Well, that's that done. Oh, you know what else? I can reuse this. No, look at that. He's like way up. Come on. And these respawn. No, he's recovering more than... more than I can do. Yeah, and I didn't get the Idolon out in time. I swear I clicked it, but that's okay. I think we're done here. I think that's not a productive use of time. I was very happy to even be able to beat the first boss, and just as a reminder, my gear sucks! Oh, Camster, thank you so much, but that's okay. I'm not gonna take your stuff. Oh, I can't mass return. I'm not gonna take your stuff. Thank you so much, but... good night, Camster, and thanks for the moral support. But we are just gonna call it on the dungeon there. So I tried. No one could say that I didn't try. Sorry, no, but I'm not gonna take it. I do appreciate it though. I absolutely have the resources to upgrade my masteries in the same way that I have the resources to have trophies, and I just don't, so... Anyway, back to town, yes. And then we can switch in the eidolons for linking again, as soon as we're out of combat. Oh, we're still stuck in combat. Oh no, she's on the field, that's the problem. Alright, you go back, and then we'll just go back to all eidolons. We were working on Miketsukami, who's around here somewhere. There we go. Back to linking. That was easy. That was so easy. Guys, just everybody say that was easy and nobody will know what happened. Just like coffee anyway. Clearly, the problem is I've got an iced coffee today instead of a latte. Right, that's... Oh yeah, I think for this one you're supposed to just walk over to the bridge, right? Oh, goodness. Now, this map also had some NPCs that were gone when you trigger the quests, so I'm assuming that they'll also work with the just run away and come back. Ugh. Trying to message people on Discord. Go. Alright, after I finish the stream tonight, I do have to do my 15 minutes of typing practice. I haven't done it yet today. Oh, is that a crash? That's a crash. You know, I seem to think that other people have said that they crash on that quest too. And it's just lucky for me that the way that it's set up, you guys don't get to see my desktop, huh? It's a bit of a mess right now. There we go. Giving out the stuff causes crash on that quest. What? Giving what out? Oh, was I turning an item over to the dude? Wait, why am I on channel 4? Hold on, that's not acceptable. Back to login. Channel 3, obviously. That's clearly the problem, is that I was on channel 4 instead of channel 3. No wonder I couldn't beat it. Okay. Not gonna lie, I'm not reading any of the quests at this point. The ones that are a little bit more complicated or don't have auto paths on them, I remember them by now, but nothing. Oh, you know what? I should have grabbed my pumpkin off of Noon. The secret EXP pumpkin contract. I've got one, but it's hidden on one of my other characters right now. I feel like 20 more should probably be enough. Yo. You know, I feel slightly more comfortable on these skills now, so maybe it was worth sitting around fighting the same guy for half an hour. Oh, right, yes, sorry, this is another one of the ones with an NPC that's a little bit shy. So we'll just run away until what's-his-face unloads and then run back. Yeah, there you go. Oh dear. I know this is completely useless, but I just kind of want to do it anyway. They'll get back to their computer and it'll say that somebody revived them. Maybe they'll feel less alone. Confirm the cold penetration effect. Into the ice side. Now, at the latest, I want to start on the Bond dungeons at 11. So I don't mind trying to run the dungeon here in party mode. Maybe hell mode's a little bit overkill. I know none of these guys in this one have healing, but the final boss, the Delphonia lookalike at the end of this dungeon is kind of annoying. When you're feeling the fight's gonna take a while, so I suppose I don't mind giving it a shot in party mode, but definitely not gonna be spending half an hour fighting again. Look at that AoE though. I love this class. Oh, you know, we could have used one of those cheap Navia snacks, like not the feast, but one of the snacks as well, now that I think about it. Might have just been better to actually equip trophies though. Every time you accidentally, or accidentally, whenever you get one of those like little mob kills where it gives you the glow, those actually eat up your quest experience books, so... I haven't tested to see whether or not it's really worth getting those quest experience books on those. I don't think so. It's not very much experience. Anyway, this one's just gonna have us run around in circles for a while. I think you have to use it like 6 times or something? That's less than I remember. Maybe I'm thinking about that one. 30k experience for the kill quest. Yeah, that's not much. Oh, people messaging me on Discord again. No, it's about coffee. What else would I get messages on Discord about? These guys gonna keep spawning? Oh, no. Oh, I suppose here's another tidbit about quest experience books since we're talking about the way that they work. If you're at cap level and you used a quest experience book, it will just stay permanently on your bar until the cap level is raised and you do a quest. If you're not getting experience from the quest because you're at cap level, it just won't exhaust the book. So you get to have a cursed experience book just stuck in your buff bar. As far as I know, literally nothing will clean it out. Because, like, you actually can't right-click to get rid of it. Alright, I should probably feed them a bit too, but we can do it next time. Alright, this map had a lot more quests than the previous one, because we still got a little ways to go before a dungeon. Or did I only buy 20 experience books? I forget. It's my first day off for a stat day in years. I've been working every single stat day for... honestly, probably 8 or so years now. Just feels so weird to not log in. Or sorry, like not going to work on a weekday. When they have problematic updates, it can remove the experience books. You know, it's funny you say that, but when I hit cap on midday for 35, I literally never lost it the entire time between when cap was released and when it got increased to 40. So that's over a year, isn't it? Resonant, haven't played in AK in a few. Is these a lot in this patch? Well, there's a bunch of events and I haven't even properly looked at them myself. Oh, was I supposed to attack the cage? Doesn't look like it. I know there's a bunch of stuff in Navia. There's a new dungeon. But if I'm being honest, yesterday I locked in on preparing the video about Aura Kingdom Impact because I know there's a lot of interest around what's going on there, and I thought I was actually really excited to see that they had the guts to makes such significant changes. I think, what, there's 3 events in Navia? A new dungeon, an S35 dungeon that is, and 2 of the contracts that have skills that activate have been adjusted so that you can control when the skills activate, which is probably an odd way to phrase it. And I don't have any to actually show you, but for example, where's my inventory? There is a contract I've got here, Mr. Flockia. And Flockia is not included, but I'm just going to show you guys as an example. No, I have to run away anyway. Well, you got Flockia spawned. Every once in a while, when you're attacking... Hold on. Of course, now he's not going to do it. Hello, Joker! Stellar Saphir is best played as... Oh, there we go. That's the skill. Sorry, distraction. That's the skill I'm talking about. I don't get to control when that happens. For some of the fancier contract, they've now added an extra little button that you can press to decide when those skills activate. Because it can actually be a little bit annoying when they interrupt your rotation. Anyway, where is my inventory? I start getting in the flow and then I have to hit buttons that I'm not used to. Right, Stellar Saphir Element. Most people choose to play it as either dark or physical. Personally, I like dark because I've got way more dark damage than physical. And I think it's easier to build around dark damage compared to physical. So my main DPS skill is going to be the Radiant Star Patrol. The other day I got killed in F8 with my Ruth Copium. Oh dear. Is Ruth one of the contracts that had it? I thought it was, I mean, they didn't even put the contracts that have that skill effect thingy on the table. Anyway, I'm just gonna quickly go into the settings here. That's not the settings button. So under key bindings, we go all the way down here. These ones. These new Alt F1, Alt F2, etc. I got someone to share a screenshot with me. The Alt F1 is the hotkey for the new skill, and it actually just pops up as like a separate box, and I'm making motions with my mouse that I know that you can't see because I've got my mouse hidden again today. I don't know, I really like having the mouse off, because then when I take footage, I don't forget to turn it back off when I'm doing the screenshots. There was one time, actually. Oh, Fatima, yes, that's the other one, sorry. That's definitely the other one. Yeah, no, I like to keep the mouse off because I never remember to swap it back when I'm trying to take videos so I can get screenshots. And one of my favorite screenshots that I've ever done, I actually had to manually edit the mouse out because I couldn't get it again. Like, I couldn't time it right to get this exact thing that I wanted again, and then I had to mash it out. Rotation for a Dark Stellar Saphir. If I'm being honest, once you get into the late level dungeons, basically none of your skills are going to do damage except for the ones that you've got enough elemental damage on. So when I'm dealing with my rotations, as you can see, I've got 137%. Why do you keep scrolling up on me? 137% dark attribute skill damage. So once I step inside the dungeon, which I'm about to do right now, you know what? Well, we'll just go in solo challenge. It's not going to have much debuff, but it might have a little bit. No, not really. In party mode dungeons, a bunch of these ones are going to be debuffed, so like basically all of my skills will all be at negative damages, and the only things they're going to do damage are things that are the dark elements. So I've got all of these skills which have the only function they bring, except again the dark skills, is going to be debuffing. So I like to run through the skills for debuffing and then just mash them with the triple Radiant Star Patrol, because after using Chaos or Cosmic Light Chaos, you can then use the Star Patrol several times. That being said, when you're a little earlier in the game, there might be different rotations that are more optimal. Because for me, these skills are basically going to do nothing other than debuffing, so I just gotta throw them on there so I can get my triple Star Patrol on God mode, I suppose you could say. Speaking of which, I need to go back to this one. And I'll just jump into Hell mode so you can see. You know, I think that's actually one of the things, and not to make this about Aura Kingdom Impact again, but I think that's one of the things they kind of regret, or X-Legend kind of regrets about the way that the meta developed. In the same way that everybody uses a Nocturnal sub-weapon. The rotations are kind of a bit of a waste because it gets to the point where everything has been debuffed, or you've been debuffed so much that literally nothing does anything. And their answer to that was they made dungeons where literally nothing does anything, and you've got to have a full team of people debuffing the targets in order to actually get their stats into a range where a reasonable person could damage it. Like the newest floors of Vault of Eternity. Bouquet of Dreams? It's not the right button. Does somebody want a bouquet of dreams? Whisper me and I'll send it to you. Heck, I'll send you an hour flower too. And as you can see, you don't even really need a rotation in solo mode because everything is gonna die so fast. But we are gonna pop into party mode because I said we would. It's just that we've only got about 20 minutes max. Oh, this is another case of the runaway, isn't it? Is that far enough? Yes. And I think I forgot to use my... Alright, we're just gonna pop on into party mode. Might have been smart to grab the quest, but I'm not confident that we're gonna be able to beat this. I am gonna pull out... Oh. There we go. That's exactly what I was thinking was gonna happen. Oh, geez. That is a nasty AoE. Oh, I think that's new. Not really used to the sound effects. You know, I feel like I jump cast better when I've got sound effects on, but you'd never be able to tell because, like I said, right now I'm fumbling most of the buttons. Alright, let's see. Shoot, let's see. Oh, and my weapon's gonna break too. Cool, we're gonna go into detailed. Yeah, there you go. So as you can see, my physical damage is actually... My physical skills do 21% less damage than baseline. That's what the red means. Only my dark damage is really worth anything in these places. And what's the full story of Aura Kingdom? Oh boy, that's a... Oh, Renan, that's a long story. Whoop. If I stand right in the gap, can you get me? Let's see. So at the beginning of the game, basically, you wake up after you have a dream, a prophetic dream of the future, where you're fighting with an eidolon, but people around don't really think that eidolons are good things, so you're kind of shaken up about it, and you just go about your regular life until it turns out that you've got an eidolon that spawns in, and you embark, or rather, it's what's his face, Brian or whatever. And there's an evil dude that also spawns an eidolon, and he kind of goes crazy and turns into a monster. Yes, Brian and his partner, they turn into a monster because he can't. Joker 100% Star Patrol, because Star Patrol is going to be our best damaging skill. And we get to use it 3 times in rapid succession. Yes, Brian is why we are afraid of Eidolons, is because he transforms into a monster by fusing with his Eidolon or something along the lines of that. So you spend a couple maps trying to figure out how to get rid of your Eidolon, but eventually over time you come to realize that the reason why Brian went monster was like his heart wasn't strong enough and he accidentally got his hands on some bad stones. Whoa, that was actually pretty a lot of damage there. Hold on. Yeah, no, I don't think I really want to continue trying this because we've only got 15 minutes anyway. Ultimately, you kind of get recognition for your combat abilities. Obviously, you're the main character in an MMO. And you end up basically serving the, geez, I want to say church, but is that really the right word for it? And then there's a bunch of dramatic intrigue along the lines of, what's his face, Reinhardt? You know what, Joker? I don't know, because I think a lot of the players that are on the current server are unlikely to want to give up their current progress. And even if there's a large spike in players on the new server right away, I don't know how that's going to transfer in terms of like long-term player base, because as long as it is actually still the bones of a 10-year-old game, I don't know that that's the kind of thing that'll appeal to a lot of like new players to keep them sticking around. So it's hard to say. But oh, hello, Carrie Near. Yeah, I've been trying to do lives once a week for Aura Kingdom. And we were actually just talking about the they're opening up a brand new server. But I was gonna say, to my understanding, the other games that they've done like fresh start servers for, the other ones are still kicking around. So they've done this before, and it hasn't completely murdered the old servers. And just it really sounds like they're making quite a bit of changes. So whether or not the current player base will feel like the changes that they're making are worth giving up everything we've got, that's gonna depend. Oh, Philippines! You must be like right opposite side of the world from me. That's really cool. Anyway, my partner for Bond Dungeons, I suppose I'll reach out to them on Discord if I could type right, because it's about time that we start our Bond Dungeons. Alrighty, let's go. Well, I'm not going to finish my links today, obviously. There's not enough time left. But the balance is better if you're willing to switch. It's going to be tough, because I do like being able to solo a lot of content. And the comfort of the immunity eidolons and all the nocturnal subs, I like that a lot. But I'm also really interested in seeing where they're going with it. But if the way that they develop the game mandates that you're going to have properly built parties, that's both a positive and a negative, because it definitely will encourage more people to play together. Oh, that's not the right password. Sorry, just logging into my other account here. Oh, that's not the password either. Like, if the way they designed the game ends up requiring that you need to actually have properly balanced parties, I mean, that's really good in terms of people developing a community around working together. But as you start to have that fall off, or maybe you don't have as many people playing at the same time as you, that could actually be quite bad for the game as well, right? Because if less people, it then becomes even harder to solo stuff if you don't have the comforts that we're used to. So I think the way that they're going about it might be a little bit barking up the wrong tree. But we'll have to see. Anyway, I suppose... You know, I don't know about lifting the dungeon limit. I kind of like that there's a limit to how much you can grind when the level cap comes out, right? I suppose a lot of people would prefer if we didn't have that. But as someone that did try to like rush to level cap, the fact that there's a hard limit on how far you can go is kind of nice. Let's hold on a second here. Normal mode. Where'd I get? There you go. I'm number 31. I was actually really sick during that week too. Oh boy. That was not a fun week. Right, so we're probably going to want to stop by Port Scandia before we go to the Dimensional Hall, so I'll get that propped up there. Got my charm on. And normally when we run, we only do like, one bond and one dimension hall, but it's gonna take a little bit longer today because we gotta stop by Port Scandia to get that quest experience buff. And I think for these two, because my scrub is so weak, we're not gonna do any more. But I think I'll try dragging my friend here to at least one other dungeon. Ta-da! And that'll help with the leveling up quite a bit. Let's see, if I had a number one thing I wanted them to change... Well, they've already said that they're going to change the way that the archives work, but I would like to see maybe something like... How to explain it? Something more like, something more like a tree rather than sets. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of the things that I would actually change. I'm so used to dealing within the limitations of the system that if you tell me choose one thing to change, my head just goes blank because I'm so used to not having the ability to change anything. I don't know, maybe I'd ask them to make it so that Tyr has a tuxedo form, I don't know. Remove all story content or pay to have it properly localized. Not even a bad idea. Oh, who's mailing me? A coffee? Oh, I'm not going to turn that down. Thank you, Knight. Oh, 50 coffees. Holy moly. Save those up and we can do another Coffee Me live stream. Oh boy. I got my book on. Forget. Oh, we can actually use back to login because I'm changing account. Coffee is the prize. Yeah, imagine if I did Coffee Me again, except that the only prize was actually just coffee. You know, when we did that, there was actually people that said that they were so annoyed by it that they were blocking every single person that said Coffee Me in World Chat instead of just asking what's up. I know we did it a little bit on the down low, like I didn't tell people in the game that much about what was going on, because I kind of wanted it to be a mystery where people would be like, well, what happens if I say coffee me? And then they get a coffee in the mail? I thought that would be fun. But yeah, no, there were some people complaining in the, oh, the zone sharing doesn't work, sorry. Oh, and I went to Navia instead by mistake. They put Navia first on the list because you frequently want to go to Navia, but it is going to take a little longer to load. Mm. Yeah, there were people that were mad. We did have like 200 people participate though, so that was a lot of fun. Alright, how do I get to party chat? People chilling in Navia. And hey, look at that, another cutie in Sniper, but this one's got oh, there's my Imperial Nori fan. Oh geez, when did I have a plus 20? Huh. I'm surprised by my gear every time I see it. Like, random bow. Gosh, it was so much fun though. Oh, and I accidentally just found the go back to previous song button on this keyboard. Okay, so the way this keyboard works, I just want to explain this a bit so that it doesn't seem like I'm so ridiculous in the buttons that I keep hitting incorrectly. The way it works is that I've got a ortholinear separated pads. So there's one keyboard for each hand. And all the regular keys are there, they're just lined up in columns. But then there's also a bunch of thumb keys, and none of the thumb keys are labeled because they all do, like, basically the idea is that you bind them however is most comfortable for you. And I've got it mostly just like the basic standard bindings. Okay, it's here. But for example, the button for to control, I don't have the muscle memory there yet because I'm not used to using my thumb for control, right? And then there's also a toggle button that puts it on like a different layer where I've got like the F keys, which is for my idolon swapping, and the media controls. But I have not been doing a lot of media control, so I've got very little muscle memory there either. But it's right next to the space bar, so every once in a while when I intend to hit the space bar, or rather the space key because it's not a bar, I'll accidentally hit the layer switch key. Which is not great, but I'll get used to it. It's really just going to be about getting that muscle memory in place. And maybe what I do need to do is just go suffer a little bit more on my Stellar Sapphire in exceedingly hard dungeons, because that actually felt quite nice. Anyway, I'm thinking we do 2 here, so where's control? Right here. And enter is there. And the other thing about this keyboard is that in every program other than Aura Kingdom, the enter keys are actually both enter as well as control or alt. So like the left hand one is enter if you tap it and alt if you hold it. And the alt function works in Aura Kingdom, but the enter function doesn't. So I had to bind another key to enter, which is fine because I've got keys out my ears right now. I'm sure it's going to be great once I get used to it, and I'm really excited to get used to it, but the transition is going to be tough. That's why I said 3 more weeks. I get a month to get used to it. Ruin Ashes. I should have double-checked what trophy sets here, but I think this is the right choice. I think this is the second easiest. I mean, obviously you can't see what my my partner is doing. But basically, they can't actually see my character. All they can see are the cubes in the red zones. So they've got to. I mean, once you get into a rhythm, you know about how many seconds is necessary. But yeah, he just has to step on the blocks in the right order to open up the zone for me to go forward. And then for this section, obviously, I'm just putting the bombs down in the spots. And once you get to the kind of flatland over there, if you are able to knock out all of the little moles before they wake up, there's an extra achievement. Probably just clean up my inventory a bit here. I'm not super good at getting them all in one shot. Like, you should be able to get, like, about 3 per on these ones where they're spread out this way. Really? Oh. Yeah, we're not making it this time, that's for sure. Hit him with the old neutral face. Neutral face. Martin, you're laughing at me when he killed me? Now look, we've got to fight all these mobs. And I don't have a amazing gear. Oh look, it's even it's level 40 gear. And another Imperial Noripan. I knew I had a bunch. I think I was talking about that in the live stream I was doing for the Eidolon wishes. I knew I had a bunch of Imperial Noripan leaves around. Whoop. Ah, but it's fine. Oh, there we go. And that's my escape button. And we don't need 2 people to do dimension halls. I mean, obviously you can activate all the stones in the dimension halls on your own now. But if we're running these anyway, we just found it was faster if we did it all at once. And on a normal day, when we don't have to stop by Port Scandia, it's about 45 minutes for our run. But we're going to do extra bonds today because with the power of the audience here to boost my drop rate, maybe we'll get more lucky. Oh my gosh, look at this dark humor. After exploding me. SMH. And I got my quest book on. I'm gonna need some more next time, but we're good for today. I could go for some cheese. Yeah, this was the Lancer that I would have been running on if they had won the poll. Actually, I didn't. When I checked the poll, there was 5 votes total. I wonder if anybody else has voted since then. But Stellar Saphir was definitely the big winner. Okay, yeah, we got a couple more votes now, but Stellar Saphir was the massive winner. This was the Lance. Isn't she cute? Actually, I really, really like this costume. It's adorable. Ice Aura Manual for 35k, huh? That's not much. That's very cheap. I wonder if anybody's actually going to sell it at that price. So ice is kind of the worst element, to be fair. There's very few classes that can actually be built and played as ice element. So I could see why the Ice Aura Manual might not be super valuable. Yep, that's the one. Frost Trap main. Ice Wizard? Ice, what do you call him? Nunchuck? Yep, where is my control button? Dude! Oh shoot, I didn't use a charm. Too late. Okay, well while I'm here I'm gonna buy a couple more. Yeah, we'll go 5 here. 2 on all, I think. If that's okay. And there's the other one. I don't know if you could be a Frost Trap main, sorry. Sorry, Arrow, but yeah, I think Wizard is probably... Wizard and Nunchuck are probably the two that are best suited to be played as ice, but Fire Wizards will tell you that you're wasting your character if you play them as ice. Personally, I like the aesthetic, so I do anyway. The new class that they're releasing on the global server is going to be Ice Element, or at least half Ice Element, so... Oh man, they said a lot of weird things in the, in their news update about what they're going to do with that class. So they've said skills that have multiple elements, and like, do they mean like you're gonna have 2 icons for the element in the corner of the skill there, or do they mean that you'll be able to change it by switching modes, because that's kind of what it sounded like on the Japanese blog article. And then they said that it'll have the ability to change the element of the target. So if that's the case, there's got to be limits on that, because if that's the case, then basically everybody would just make sure they've got party with one of that class in there, so always swap the element to the same thing, and then nuke it by only stacking that kind of elemental target damage. Like, that seems like it could be quite broken? I don't know. Maybe I'm reading a bit too much into it when we don't know how it'll work, but... we'll see. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Hello Bolt, no, it's not going to replace the current server. There will be 2 separate servers. They're actually making so many changes that it's probably going to feel like quite a different game, and even stuff like the kind of gear and the kind of idolons you want to use are probably going to be different based on just the way that they've described it so far. They said they're also going to change the mechanics in the dungeons too, so... As an endgame player, do you have the ability to swap elements on a class easily? Yeah, basically. But that's a bit different for me than it would be for some other endgame players, because my weapons suck. As an example, Lance is basically always going to be played as Dark, but I'm using an S5 Dark Lance. If I wanted to switch to Lightning, I could very easily switch to, like, an S15... oh shoot, did I miss one? I wasn't paying attention. I could very easily switch to an S15 Lightning Lance by just getting one in the DP store. Or sorry, yeah, the DP Encyclopedia Exchange. Oh, and I'm about to forget to use a charm again. Yeah, I think they'll look basically the same, maybe a bit different lighting, but the mechanics of how the game works is probably going to be adjusted a pretty decent amount. But I'm keeping on top of the news for that, so as soon as we have more information about how the new game's systems are going to work, I'll be sharing that in video updates as well. Where's Scandia? They left the cherry blossoms up, huh? Yes, Bolt, I am gonna play the new version. I'm unlikely to move there permanently, though, so we'll see. If they've made changes to the point that it is literally more fun to play on the other server, or that the calculation of that might change. But for the time being, I don't know that I'll necessarily find it as enjoyable, especially if they have to drop the move speed. Like if my character's move speed drops down to 100% and they don't have a lot of ways to increase it. That's... Move speed's pretty big, huh? Honestly, I could see a lot of players from the current server getting turned off extremely quickly for the slow move speed. Well, I don't know, because when they say that they're removing specifically the prefix nocturnal from the weapons, some other people were asking if that means that they're also going to remove, like, the nocturnal effect from, like, there's mounts that have that, there's eidolon stars that have that. We don't even know if they're going to have eidolon stars, because they said that they're going to revisit the system. Yes, Yami, that the new Steam page for Aura Kingdom is actually going to be a different server. They're calling it the global server because they're actually going to have, like, I think 9 languages? Japanese, Chinese, Taiwanese are 4 languages, and then a couple more. I don't even remember all of the languages that they were offering, to be honest. But yeah, it's going to be a separate game. That being said, I did hear from some other players that the way that they've handled these versions that are more global is they actually got separate servers within the same launcher for the people of different, like, time zone regions. I don't know, that just feels like a bad idea. After getting everybody together, then you want to break them up again? Feels like it would be so much more fun if everybody was just together. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna need another charm because we're running double bonds tonight. And then on our last character, on our last set, we're gonna do all of the bond dungeons. Oh, sorry, and then speaking about removing Nocturne, there was somebody else that asked whether or not they were going to remove, like, the lifesteal effect from things like Soul Draw. And I want to say I don't think so, but... No, that wasn't the right one. D... E... W. There we go. Yes, GM21, AK Impact on Steam is not the version of the game I'm currently playing. It's going to be a completely different version where they have made a whole bunch of changes to all the different mechanics of how, like, the dungeons bosses work, how I'm assuming that the fortification system is going to be revised. They've said that they're revising the gear system. They said they're actually removing some equipment. They said they're removing certain kinds of skill effects, or sorry, from Eidolon specifically, they're removing certain kinds of skill effects. They've said that they're making a lot of changes, so it's gonna look similar. Like, the aesthetic of the game, to my understanding, is going to be the same, and they've actually used art as well as videos from the current game as their promotional material. But the UI is going to be different. And a lot of the systems within the game are going to be revised. Like they said, they're going to revisit the archives. They're going to revisit basically everything. So I feel like it's going to feel like a different game, but it's going to look like an old game. And I don't know how appealing that's going to be for people. Whoop! I ran too far. That's what happens when you run into a red circle. I'm just showing you guys. It's not like I accidentally ran too far. Where's my water? Control. Art. Enter. There we go. Now we're back on track. I mean, I like the aesthetic of the game. And I like the way the game plays. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know whether or not I'd say they did stuff wrong. But I think they regret the way that the meta developed based on the things that they implemented, like stuff that they thought would be fine turned out to be ridiculously broken, and so they want to adjust it. Oh, never mind, you're right. That's basically did wrong then in that case. So yeah, it's like with 10 years of hindsight and all of the assets, all they gotta do now is put them together with different systems. Second quarter 2025, yeah. So people are thinking it's probably going to be out somewhere in like late May, June kind of range, but there's no official announced like release date yet. Alright, let's see if I can not screw up the rest of this run. Really? That was the same one you killed me on last time. Come on. Come on. It's a good thing there's no death penalty in this game, huh? A likely excuse you were trying to aim for the other barrel. Oh, that's another SMH. Oh, I gotta throw a charm on. Discount the emotional damage. You know what? It's no less emotionally damaging than the time when we were on a live stream on the official channel for Area, and we couldn't beat the new dungeon. And at some point I was just like, alright, let's move on. Oh shoot, yes, we didn't go for the Yes, I do. Oh, I didn't realize they already had it. Where's my... Yes. Yeah, but if that didn't work. Oh, I'll get used to this keyboard eventually. Oh, I'm trapped in a... Bolt, at this time, they are not planning on closing this version. And I highly doubt they would, because... Definitely not likely that they would combine the servers. Because of the way the systems are going to be so different, it's not going to be possible to mix that up. Not to mention that it's not just for us; it's also for the Taiwan people. So the idea being that it's not very likely that they'll close down all of their servers, and then not very likely they'll close down all of the servers, and they don't even have ownership of the Japanese server. That's being published by a different company, so they wouldn't be able to for them. As for closing it, the other games that they have done this for, where they've made global, revamped versions, they have not closed the original servers. See, I haven't... Someone else left a comment on the video about the PSO, that's Phantasy Star Online, right? Someone else left a comment on the video about that, but I'm actually not familiar with what happened with Phantasy Star, so if somebody would like to share, I would be interested in hearing about how that worked for them. Like, they created I guess maybe another comparison would be like the, WoW Classic? Or the, old RuneScape? No, not quite, because they are like I said, they're making significantly different decisions in terms of how the game is going to go forward. I'll let Hoshino handle the teleporting so that I can focus more on reading. Wait, run out of money to develop the game? You mean Phantasy Star Online? You know, I'm remembering back to 2020, where even Genshin couldn't get content out. And they had that super long patch. We had a similar thing in Aura Kingdom. For a little while, there was very little going on because of the limited development staff being in the offices. Was my understanding of the situation anyway. Once you get to higher level characters at this boss, it becomes actually a challenge to just not one-shot him. This guy not so much. Alright, we're just gonna take a quick peek at his drops for a second here. So these are the two that we're after, the Ruin Ashes and the Corrupted Shadow. The charms that I'm using are not actually affecting the drop rate of those two items. But this is the way that I farm LP, because I actually don't do yeah, restart. Doink. Oh, restart is entirely written with the left hand. That's not very fun. Ready. I could do other bots too, just not sure which on who. You know, I'm pretty sure. Another sniper set. Is this a full Imperial? No, it's not quite full Imperial sniper. Phantasy Star Online on the Xbox? Like, which Xbox was that? Like, how old is that game? I will say maybe we can do more if you stop killing me. Listen, I can only get out of the way so fast, right? Like, I jump here to break a short route that is the finishing animation of setting the explosive. So I'm getting out of the way as fast as I can. Big SMH. It's really bright. Oof. Yeah, just positioned right. We should get them all. There you go. Perfect positioning. That's how you get them all in one go. Anyway, I was gonna check here if I accidentally put the brightness up a little bit. There we go. A little bit dimmer. Easier on the eyes. I don't know how I managed to write a ka instead of na. That's not even near the right button. Alright. Wrong buttons. You know, when I look at the keyboard, it comes to mind that... Okay, actually maybe I should ask this. I was going to say it comes to mind that the way that I use the WASD for movement, I don't have... Like, I use 3 fingers for it. I use my middle finger for W and S, my left, or my ring finger for A, and then my index finger for the D key. But that means that none of them are sitting on the F key that's actually got the little bump to tell you that your finger's at the right spot. Does everybody use 3 fingers to do the WASD keys, or am I just a bad gamer from the start? Simping for Hoder too hard. I don't even know where that came from. I didn't see a Hoder out there. Okay, so 3 fingers is not weird, right? Because you have to be able to do front... switch back and forth between the different directions quickly as the situation necessitates. Oh, the caw. Okay, I'll admit, my touch typing has always actually been quite bad. Nanashi, hello! I've been spending most of this live stream complaining about how bad I am at typing on this keyboard. So we were just talking about the WASD keys, but you gotta be able to swap back and forth between like moving left and right and forward and back really quickly, right? Like so you can dodge things. But yeah, that means that my normal finger position isn't on the F that's got the little bump on it. So maybe that's why I'm having so much difficulty finding the right spot, because the layout's different and like there's no physical indicator. Like I said earlier, honestly, my touch typing is bad because my pinkies are so weak and small. So I've actually usually typed with 6 fingers instead of like, I mean, excluding the thumbs, is 6 fingers instead of 8 because my pinkies are just useless. But I have started, since I'm trying to take this seriously, to get used to this keyboard because it's going to involve a lot less moving my hands around if I get used to it. I am doing like a kid's typing test every day, like a learning how to type thing. I don't know how much it's helping because it's for like typing words. Actually, if you take a look at my skill bar here, it's probably really hard to make out on the stream. But yeah, I only use the 1, 2, 3, 4 keys for actually using skills. And then I've got one on the tilde because it's right there above the tab, right? Actually, on this keyboard, that used to be the escape key, so that's why you'll see me using ballad instead of escape a lot. And then I've got Q and E on the second bar. And then I've got C1, C2, C3, C4. Not that I can actually reach the C keys very well. Like, not that I can reach control very well on my old keyboard. But on this one, because the control key is actually under the thumb, I betcha I would be able to actually do the control skills a little bit more comfortably. But the reason why they're set that way right now is because when I'm using a controller, I use 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 4 buttons. I mean, I use a PlayStation controller, so X, triangle, square, and circle. And then I set R1 as control modifier so that I can use 8 skills. Yeah. But yeah, totally. You'll see that when I want to use what skills past like 4, I go with my mouse to them. You know, it's funny because literally, like, I was only using 6 fingers on a regular full-size keyboard just because my pinkies are so useless in general. but they had us doing typing tests at work because they said that you needed to be over a certain speed, and I was one of the few people that was over that speed, so that's kind of why I've never really bothered to learn properly, is because I learned it wrong, but I learned it wrong fast enough to be fine. QWERTY keyboard is made to slow people down? What are you talking about? You mean Big QWERTY's been bringing us down? Were the Dvorak people right the whole time? Yeah, so the reason why successfully the reason why the keys are like not in columns is because when you were on a typewriter, you needed to be able to have a bar coming out of the back of every key because you were physically pressing a key that moved a lever, and the levers had to have enough space to like move, right? And that's what's stamped on the page. But as you can imagine, there's not a lot of motivation to change that when it works just fine, right? Yeah, so the reason why the keys on normal keyboards are like not in linear columns is so that the a typewriter's bars would be able to reach it. And if everybody learns how to, I mean, Arrow, it's hard to do sarcasm in text anyway. Don't apologize for that. But if everybody just learns on the same kind of key layout, and we killed him before I could get my way to a charm. That's okay. I'll just buy some more for next time. Did I just buy 4 of the wrong item? Oh no, that's just a different kind of charm. /S. You know, I haven't actually seen people use /S much, so I wonder if it's people would universally understand what that means. But yeah, so like I figured, and I've said this before, but I've got an ortholinear left-hand pad that I use for other games, and it's so comfortable. But I think that when I started using that, my regular typing got all messed up because I started typoing way more. So I thought, okay, I like the ortholinear pad with my left hand, so what if I just get like a full ortholinear keyboard and we just vibe that way from now on? It's just that now there's the learning curve, right? Cool. I was gonna say, there's our beautiful lady from the thumbnail hanging out with us, but it's because we're back on Orihime. Oh, and I already had the blessing. Of course I already had the blessing. Okay, and I'm just gonna pull it out because I want to show you guys. Normally, Orihime is wearing... where is it? This one. Looks much nicer with the hair, I think. But that's in the, it's in the trends right now, so for this week we're gonna have to just not have pretty Orihime. You know, I actually kind of like the way they've designed this, the way that they've designed this kimono with the layers and the haori and whatnot. I think it's quite beautiful. It's just not the vibe for this character. Do I have an experience book? Yes. We good. We good. Hello, Lousy! You're gonna print the tier body pillow and put it on your wall? Very nice. I approve. Actually, I don't. See, I've got a rule. No dakimakuras in my house. Then nobody better say anything to suggest that that might be a lie. There are no dakimakuras allowed inside this house. Actually, okay, this is... Sorry, this is really dumb. I, Okay, number one, somebody sent me like a keychain Dakimakura, so technically I do have one, but it's not a real one, so it doesn't count. But also, I was looking at VTuber merch stuff, not because I want to make merch, obviously, I'm not at a level where I would make merch, but there's a website that it says that it doesn't matter the size of your following, and they'll work with you if you apply. They just have slots, right? So they have slots. You don't have to have a big enough following. You can apply. And I was looking at like the stuff that they make, and they actually do, like, one of the things that they were offering was like miniature keychain Dakimakuras of your VTuber model, and I'm like, oh, never. I don't know. I don't really like acrylic stands either, but that's what most people tend to get nowadays. I don't know, they just feel so easy, right? Acrylic stands, you print a picture on a piece of plastic and you call it a day. I mean, I'm obviously not at a level where I'd be making merch anytime soon. I actually wanted to make stickers. I was gonna make stickers and then send them to people for free as part of like a welcome to the new year kind of thing. But first off, we had the Canadian mail strike, so like it was going to be a Christmas thing and welcome to the new year. And I was just going to send out like 5 sticker sheets to people randomly that were obviously willing to give their address to receive them. But then the Canadian mail strike happened, so I couldn't order them because I had no idea when mail was going to resume. And then I lost all the art that I did for it. Like, absolutely all of it. It's just gone. So, such is life. And, Arrow, good luck with your physical therapy. Oh geez, physical therapy. I hope you're doing okay. Actually, I'm really sad that I lost those stickers. I put a lot of work in them. Every day on my lunch break for like... Oh gosh, it was months. I was working on that for months. But I thought it would just be fun, you know? Stickers aren't too expensive to mail. I sent out postcards in July, but one of them didn't reach its, I think I sent out 3 total. I sent out 3 postcards, and one of them didn't make it to the place overseas, so that was sad. As for the sticker art, no, I actually, so the program I used was Procreate for the iPad. And it's way too easy to select an entire stack and delete it. And I looked it up. There's no cloud backups. Oh, that wasn't the right double set. There's no cloud backups. There's no undo delete. There's nothing. So they're just gone. And I didn't export them, so they're just gone. Oh man, missed this guy. No, too slow. That guy's gonna spawn. Well, the only sticker that is kind of saved is actually my current Discord profile picture, which was basically a draft, the draft version of one of the stickers. I put a lot more work into it after that, but I had done an export at one point just to see how the file system works in my because Procreate's a new program and my image editor on my computer is 10 years old, 15 years old actually. So I just wanted to make sure that the PSD that was exported by Procreate would work on my computer, and it did. So I've got just that one picture that's my profile picture on Discord. I don't know, I think it's cute. But it's not the final version that was supposed to be the sticker. It's supposed to be midday, reaching out for one of the little blue sprites. I don't have any in this inventory, but I think it's cute. Mm. Oh, we are gonna miss the reset for S35. Yeah. Alright, just to make sure we don't miss the reset, we will take a diversion here and head over. Like I said, normally it'll take us only 45 minutes, but we only usually do one bond dungeon, and then of course there's the extra time to run to Port Scandia on every character, and it adds up when you do it 15 times. I mean, it wasn't 15 times, but a lot of times. So we'll take a quick little detour over to my main here. She doesn't have any proper armor on, but I don't think she'll die. Well, she won't die if Plinko here does his part properly. Do I have Persephone? Yes, I do. Welcome to a runaway cursed forbidden zone. Oh, right, this character does not have valid. And I'll just point it out. I don't have a proper gear set on either. I'm using S10 bottom set, which I just unequipped. Beautiful, smart, brilliant. S10 bottom set and S5 top set. Highly not recommended. And then I've got a fortified S15 set, because I was testing to see whether or not it actually was, if the stats on that were enough to counteract those dungeons where your stats are like, where your damage is set to 1, basically. It's not, but we get so many accessory fortifications, it didn't feel like it was a waste anyway. Just gotta not get hit by those barbits. No sweat. But yeah, I'm not like super contributing here. For the most part, I think my best contribution is just the corrosive shot. And even that's kind of moot with the way that defense works nowadays. Got my brackets. I'm sorry, I'm not even sure what you mean by brackets. Braces. Oh boy. Short-term suffering for long-term not suffering is how you gotta look at that. Gotta take care of your teeth. Oh goodness, I had my I had to get my wisdom teeth removed. gosh, when the pressure's gone, it's just... Alright, so for this boss, we gotta... I've never had braces, actually. Although nowadays, around here, it feels like every dentist is sponsored by Invisalign. Because my teeth are straight. There's one that's like teeniest bit not straight. Literally never bothered me. But like every time I go to the dentist, they're like trying to upsell me on Invisalign. It's like, nah, man. And that's those plastic tray ones, so they don't even look nice. Oh shoot, yeah, we gotta kill the followers. Oh, I can't even... Whoop. I could not even see the carpets on the ground, so I'm glad I survived. And then the chest appears over here. Got 2 pieces of tank on, same as 35 copium. Honestly, considering I'm just using S5 gear and S10 gear, I may as well use the higher level Vault of Eternity armor on this character. I only keep my good armor on the character that I'm currently working on leveling. Oh, are we just gonna are we gonna just finish this run? I guess so. Alright, where is my spawn idolon button? There we are. Now, you get the boarding side with me. I'm just gonna sit here and stare at these guys because with, and this is actually something that we talked about, I mentioned a little bit in the video for, you just saw that it's Plinko? In the video I did about the Aura Kingdom Impact, this is one of the things I mentioned about Persephone, is that with her you can kind of cheese through some mechanics. So what's supposed to happen here is that Plinko runs to a certain spot and gets a tip about which robot I need to hack, and then when I hack that robot, it then opens up a path for him to get through. Or you can use Persephone and just run through it. So I get to just sit back and look pretty. And may I say... Oh, you can use evasion to get through it too? And may I just say, I look mighty pretty today. I really like this outfit, actually. You know, I kind of got sad by all these costumes that I like that I rarely use, so I started swapping between them, but I think the main 2 I use are still this one, and the Genki Star. I gotta put cards in it. The arc without rework. Oh. I forgot to trigger Persephone, and now if I do, I won't be able to use Persephone on the final boss. Plinko, please hurry up and unlock my skills. Please. Oh, no, I'm gonna die for sure. It's fine. It's fine. I'm used to it. I think that Persephone missed me. So this boss also has an effect where if you die, the floor becomes lava, I suppose you could say. And you just take constant damage. And it's quite heavy. Quite heavy damage. Oop. Ah. We goofed. We goofed. Well, see, I'm not sure what I was meant to be saying, but I can guarantee you that it wasn't that. I'll let go take that one. Nope, I have no idea what I was saying there. I gotta get my Persephone back out. Oh, so something about Persephone. We can use Persephone to cheese through the negative effects. Is what I assume I was going for there. The second half of this, you're supposed to transfer back and forth, where one person can interact with investigative spots on the ground, but then the other player is the one that will have an item that they need in order to pass through to the next zone. So one person would have the item and one person would have the ability to interact with the search spots. But through the power of Persephone, Plinko's going to do all the hard work and I'm just going to sit back and look pretty. Yes, that's oh, you can use an eidolon to kill the mob as well? I thought that if you use the eidolon to kill the mob, you don't always, you don't get the drop, because that's how it works in some other locations, but... Oh, it doesn't either. Well, that's what happens when you spend every single time sitting here looking pretty, while somebody else does the hard work, eh? So I'm just gonna sit here and stare at my face. So actually, this is something that I put in the in that community post from after the last live stream, where I said that this is the location I was at when I took the screenshot that I was using for oh, I see. You got to use the swap. But yeah, so it was one of these days when Plinko was off doing the actual work and I was sitting here staring at myself that I thought I should take a screenshot and see if I can redraw the layers well enough to make into a model. And even though the colors were all off, I just kind of kept going until one day I had a VTuber model. But I don't think I'm good enough at rigging that I could even take cheap commissions to help other people have models. But it was a lot of work, but a lot of fun. As you can see with Persephone, I just sit here and look pretty, and then suddenly I'm at the next stage. See if I can... No, he got to go run through the fire as well. Oh, now see, no, I took a screenshot, loaded it up in, my 15-year-old, jeez, I can't believe it's been 15 years since high school. My 15-year-old Photoshop editor, and then just kind of redrew it into layers that I then animated using the, Live 2D program. So it's not actually the files from the game, it's a screenshot. Please check out the community tab of my, check out my community tab for the picture of it. To be fair, if we do the annoying one, I was going to say, if we do the annoying one next, I actually have to do some work in miscounting moles. Can you believe it's because Plinko was the one doing all of the hard work in Bond dungeons that I have a VTuber model? Imagine where we would be today if we hadn't figured out that you can use Persephone to cheese it, and I actually had to do some work. To be fair though, the first time we ran the Bond dungeons, I didn't know which side was the harder one. I just randomly picked a side and we never swapped back. I just got good coin flips a couple times, eh? Oh, Resonant, talking about deep MIDI lore. Well, I think it's probably too early to say something, but I guess I'll drop you guys a sneak peek just because I'm actually working on like a proper lore background. When I first created my model here, I literally just threw it on with the guide that I was making in lieu of a proper debut, so I never had that, like a proper like lore story. So I've been kind of toying with the idea of writing some proper lore for the character. So, I don't know, maybe in 6 months it'll be at a stage where I'd be able to actually share it properly and do like a, something fun with it. And I missed that guy again. I better keep Persephone. I think the main issue that I'm having with my character is that the character from the story that the name Midday originally came from is completely separate from the character that is basically now takes the main stage for me. So I feel like I have to rename the character in the story that I wrote, which kind of sucks. We'll see, though. Maybe I'm better at writing lore than I am at writing stories anyway, and it'll be more fun. Ooh, and I can do like a color correction on my model finally, and then call it a re-debut of version 1.5. Maybe not. I might actually do a color correction on the model though, because that's been bothering me this entire time. Deer and dragon statues. That's 2 dragons, 2 deer, so 4. Man, I try to count the moles while nothing else is going on. Oh, of course. That's a 1 tan, 2 red. Oh, thank you, Lassie. I've got an idea. I just need to build on it a little bit. We're gonna go with 2. I'm pretty sure there's only those 3 guys. 1 tan, 2 red. Wolf statues in blonde, or it's a wolf. Those are bears. 1 wolf and Blondor likes to hide in here. One blonde. Looks like another 2 to me. 2. Look at that. Didn't even goof up on the counting things this time. This is probably the most annoying bond out of the entire set. I think... I don't know. So, we've talked about it a lot, but it seems like even when we've confirmed the exact number of moles because we've answered another question about how many moles there are, so we know we've seen all of them, when we get a question that asks how many red and how many blonde moles, the answer doesn't seem to match. So if anybody's got any advice on the red and blonde moles section, please do let me know. Or rather, the red and blonde moles question. Okay, and for this dungeon, you also want to not use your charm until after you beat the mini-boss. Because the mini-boss will eat your charm and give you nothing for it. Alright, and then we have to sing happy birthday, so if it's anybody's birthday, Happy birthday to you. Alright, then we can use charm. Nothing good. Oh, Paragon would have changed. Hold on a second here. I guess I'll do it while Plinko's messing with his statues. Okay, here's something that I would change in the new game. If they want to retain that massive list of dungeon systems, a list vertically like that is just annoying, and having to scroll through it's kind of annoying. So what I would rather have is a larger pop-up that has all of the dungeons, like in boxes, so you can just click directly to the one that you want. That's what I would ask for, because some of the dungeons have a lot of dungeons. There, I've come up with a real change that I would want. Anyway, let's check out this new Paragon, which I don't have any... Oh, new costume? Oh, wait, what button to preview the costume? That's pretty cute. Hey, that's pretty nice too. And then the idolon is Christmas Andrea. And I forgot to use a charm because I was too distracted by the costume. That's fun. I should put that in the Discord though. That's Windows Shift S. And head over to the Discord. Oh shoot, this reset too. Hold on. Just gonna pop this into the Paragon channel of the Discord. April. No, that's caps lock. April. Oh, it's the date. 19th. 2025, and then my paste hotkey, enter. Ta-da! It only took me 60 seconds to type 3 words. Alright. I mean, in terms of debuffs, that's actually still a pretty fair amount of damage. Nothing else is capped though. I'm also using the food that says it gives you 100,000 HP when it doesn't. All right, I should focus a little bit more. Oh, or should I when I've got 162 feathers? You know, we beat this last time, so we should be fine. You were rolling Paragon! That's just as bad as throwing a bomb at me. Just for that, I'm gonna gather up all these mobs so that you have to fight them again. Even though we've opened up the area and neither of us get anything of value of these mobs. Yep, yep, yep. Japanese Aura Kingdom is heavy, as in like the file size is quite large. You also need a VPN to play on the Japanese server. Oh, I forgot I have a VPN now. I played on it a bit in the past because I wanted to double check some translations on some gear items and stuff, as well as just kind of see what other content there was. But I didn't feel super confident in my language skills in terms of like actually trying to communicate with other players, so I didn't bother. Oh, I got an E-card. Yeah, that's not bad. Damage, speed, damage, that's pretty good. Yep. No worries. I've got 161 feathers. I see. Yeah, you should be able to patch it without being on a VPN, so that should be fine. You know, I think the Japanese server had even more crossovers in terms of like IP because the publisher was doing deals, right? We gotta get into those crystals so we can knock out the crystals. Whoa. I'm not doing much damage here. I don't even know why I'm bothering to try and... Ah, well. Oh, you know, I think I say this too often as well, but the magical girl costume, that's actually one of the relatively early costumes in Aura Kingdom. Like, I think one of the relatively early released ones. I don't think it's a crossover, but I remember seeing in the concept art, because I actually was given some of the concept art from Area back in the day, when I guess that was more like Gamey Go. I got a copy of some of the concept art from the game, and they actually just straight up called the file that had the sketches of that costume Totori from Atelier Totori. So they also did a little bit of just nabbing some design ideas. That was attempted a wink again. I'm not sure where you're going there, Plinko. Oh, memory box, dude. I do not have any of the items for the memory box, guys, so I'm not even gonna bother. No, I'm just really bad at winking. I'll practice, I promise. And I skipped a character. Whoops. Finish loading so I can go back. Now, I heard that the NPC in Navia without his memory, the boxes that you get. Demon flower from Sif. Okay. Yeah, the boxes are broken. You can't actually open them up. So, get ahead farming them. Open them all up after it's patched. Hopefully. No, I got enough stuff here. Right, so this list kind of sucks. Sorry, going back to what I said the last time we were at this dungeon. This list kind of sucks, especially since you gotta scroll just the right amount to get to the Bond dungeon. So what I would love to see is just like this whole box being a grid where it has like these modes, these modes, these modes, these modes, so you can really easily just select the mode that you want without having to scroll. That would be nice. Whoop. Excellent rolling skills, as you can see. I know exactly how to somersault past these guys. Gosh, can you imagine not having somersault on Duelist? I wonder if they would take it away in the new version. Or I wonder if they would add that kind of skill for some of the other classes, because it's literally Duelist is the only one that's got one of these, like, traversal skills like that. Oh shoot, did I nuke him or did you get the drop? Okay, yeah, still got the drop. It's all fine. The only time it's not fine is if you accidentally nuke the boss and then you get one of the trophies. Because that just feels awful. Although I suppose a move speed buff doesn't really help here since I'm just waiting. Yeah, we actually tried to use Persephone to get through these things, but nah, these zones are programmed properly. Nothing will get you through them as far as I'm aware. Although I haven't tried Somersault. But considering that Somersault is just a damage immunity, I don't think it would get me past it. And I can't even use it here. Okay, maybe I shouldn't ask this because it's a spoiler, I suppose. But isn't there like a special event with a dog in Navia too? I haven't even looked at it, but I did see people saying something about it being very sad. Is it a tribute to the Doge Shiba? Hmm. Okay, well, we haven't had any good drops so far, but how many do we have left? I'll count next. Certainly for someone, not sure who. I feel like they do give us the events about a year out of date, right? Hold on, let me Google something real quick. Sorry, there's no such thing as real quick right now. Okay, 24th of May in 2024. So if we're like slightly under a year in terms of updates, then it would check it out to receive an event in commemoration of Kabosu. Yeah, that's really sad. I'm gonna close that tab. You know what's not sad? I get to puppy sit tomorrow, so I'm gonna have a puppy all day. It's gonna be great. Well, the way that they choose to do their kind of memorialization event, I think it's up to them, but pets are tough, you know? But more importantly, I get to see my beautiful, lovely little Stella tomorrow. Ah, Stella. Stella is my mother's beautiful little missy. Very adorable little pup. And she's going to be spending the day tomorrow, so... hello, Gia. How do we know what Nameless is asking for? They give you a hint, but if you want the real answer, you can go on the database and check out the item called Memory Box IX. And then if you look at the Memory Box IX, it actually will give you a list of the stuff, and I think I'm allowed to paste links in chat, so I will go ahead and just hit enter. There you go, the memory box. Today's item is the second last, and it goes in order. So, Sunday is the printed cloth. Monday is the suckermouth catfish. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Today's... Actually, does it change at midnight? Maybe it changes... I don't know if it changes at midnight or server crossover. But it should be the demonic flower. And then... the Sunday item, or sorry, the Saturday item will be the pickaxe. Or maybe it is changing at midnight. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't remember what it was last time. Ugh. Either way, that's your list of items. So when it changes at midnight-ish. Okay, so right now we're on the flower, which is the Saturday item, and then the pickaxe is the Sunday item. That makes more sense. Demonic flower, and then you can just use that database entry to see where it is. That is an Easter egg item from Silent Icefield. Hey, don't those normally leave your inventory when you leave the map? Do we have to go test this? Do we have to go to Silent Icefield and grab a flower and make sure that you can actually bring it to Navia? Okay, Martin, good. Cause wouldn't it be funny if you couldn't even bring it outside of the map? A lot of the oddity quests do that. They don't let you bring the items off of the map. So just actually, I remember somebody was recently commenting on one of my videos that they couldn't actually remove the item from their inventory, like they couldn't throw it out. And then later they eventually realized it was gone because they hadn't noticed that it just vanishes once you leave the map. Speaking of looking pretty, I just really love this costume. It's the Eris costume, but in white. Super cute. Love it. 10 out of 10. I'm never changing my costume on this character. I used a... Yes, I did. There wasn't very much LP. How many bonds you get at the moment? We're actually doing more than normal. So on a normal day, we do about 15. But today we decided that because it's a holiday and we were going to live stream... Oh, bond trophies. I presently have one for sale. But in total, since we've been running them, I've probably gotten about I want to say 10. And yes, Resonant, as you can tell, the actually maybe you can't tell. I'm a big fan of the khaki color. So I like costumes and the dye setups that where I can make use of the khaki color, and just the way that it looks on this one with the white and the red, and then I found this fancy little hat that matches. And yeah, Ichikun, that's the reason why they're so expensive, is because they're quite rare. So if anybody is in the market for a bond trophy from the Dawn Passage bond, feel free to head on over to the auction house and pick one up for a mere 24,000 gold. You'll be funding my you'll be funding my mission to collect idolons. Although I should really save some up and get my hands on something like a manual. Hey. What do you mean by addiction? Can you imagine if I was able to, like, actually drink all those coffees that were sent to me earlier today? In-game? Why am I not using the bond trophies? See, the thing is that they are pretty rare. So, it would be expensive on my part to get both halves, even if I get one myself. And personally, I think that I would prefer to develop my account by getting more eidolons than by using the bond trophy. So I think that the benefit that I can get from the gold is more than the benefit that I personally can get from the bond trophies. Especially since it is a right pain to transfer stuff around all my characters. Like, no thanks. That's why everybody's got a mediocre set of gear. Mediocre. You can see I'm in the basic aura set here. So, I don't usually like to spend a whole frick ton on a set that I then have to transfer around a bunch of vaults. That's just a pain. Plus, I suppose I should add this on, Martin. I'm perfectly capable of soloing the endgame dungeons as is. It's a bit slow on some classes. Like right now I'm on my guns and it's significantly slower than it was on my whip. So my in my head, whip is now considered to be stronger than guns in the same character, or in the same gear. So if I can beat the content, and I think that eidolons will add more to my account with less fuss than the bond trophies, I would much prefer to sell them. Imperial Gazigla's Tooth and a lightning trophy, see? If I can use this crap, and plus eidolons are pretty, 100%, but if I can use crap like this and still make it through content on my, like obviously not this gear, and obviously not level 70 armor on my Stellar Saphir, we went through that earlier today, but if I don't need to put that much into just specifically the gear, the gear itself, I'm pretty happy. Oh, Moriel wants me to look at their gear. View equipment. See, this is what I'm talking about. If what we're doing doesn't really require any gear for, like, on alts is one thing. But once you get something real fancy and you want to transfer it around all your characters... Ah, yeah, I'm working on my Awakening Holy Chest, too. Actually, I'll show you guys. If I can find the right button. Awakening Holy Chest. I've been working pretty hard on it. Not doing too shabby. Yeah, the bonds are where I'm getting most of the advanced scrolls that I'm using. I've heard that 41 to 50 is more, like, not as super massive bonus in terms of PvE Like, it's better for PvE players, but I'm still gonna try and finish it. But I am getting pretty high up there now. Anyway, we got we got 2 characters left. And at that point, I think we'll call it for the day. I'm getting pretty tired myself. Here's my whiz. You can tell that she's supposed to be ice-oriented, right? I like to use Abe no Seimei with her though, so I can actually play like a hybrid fire and ice sort of build. Oh, you did pretty good, Martin. I actually gave up, or rather not gave up, but I was really busy the last couple of weeks, so I only did the little star on one character, which is how I got 1 level higher. Man, if I had just been a little bit more on the ball with that, I probably could have finished it the last in the last week. I got a charm on, but I am out, so I'll have to buy some more. Let's see, like 5. Still that refined cultivation stone. Yeah, I don't think I'll be done by August, at least not done level 50. Unless I get really, really lucky. Although, my LP's getting pretty up there, so I should probably nab a weapon and just start fortifying it, because I could use the LP to grab a bunch more of the advanced weapon scrolls. Oh, nice. I don't think we're expecting any more of like those big patch bags anytime soon that usually include one as well, so probably the next time we're gonna get one of those is gonna be along with the Warbow rework. Oh, missed one. So that'll probably be in the summer as well. Of course. If I can get my hands on, what do you call it? If I can get my hands on an S35 whip, I'm gonna sacrifice my current whip to the holy chest, which is plus 30, so it'll be 100%. And then I'll refortify the whip from scratch. I think I'll do the same with my guns, actually, if I can get an S35 guns. Because, like, on my alt characters, I don't mind refortifying them and taking a while for it. That's fine. Somebody just said Merry Christmas in April? I swear I turned down the brightness and this still feels really, really bright. Last couple times I missed this guy, so we'll try and be a little closer, and then this one you want to be a little bit closer to these ones. There we go. no, she is in a decent set. There's my S20 set. I was wondering why she did so much damage there. Oh. Oh, quick little before we teleport. If you look underneath, it actually says The Little Mermaid on the underside of the book. Yeah, getting pretty late. One more pair, and then I think we'll call it for the night. Unfortunately, our planned by live streaming we'll get better drops plan didn't exactly work, but such is life. I got one more shot. One more. Well, I guess two more, because we're gonna run two more. Experience book. Here we go. And noon over here. So this is gonna be the next character that I'm working on for hitting cap level. And I think maybe when we get to 25% to go, we might finish it all off in a spurt in a live stream again, because that was kind of fun. That was pretty fun. But for now, I'm just aiming for 5% a day, except that I actually goofed around too much today, so I don't think I'm gonna hit 5. Then again, with the buffs, maybe throw on a bug before I forget about it. I actually don't have very many bugs because, like I said, I don't run a lot of Vault of Eternity, so I only use them on the characters that I'm currently working on. Yeah, we got our pumpkin up, we got our Quest EXP book up. We're doing good. It's God Soul Invictus Celebration Day? What on earth is that? What's going on, World Chat? God Soul Invictus? Official sun god of the late Roman Empire. We need an idolon for that, don't we? Alright. Light tap. This is my character that's actually got the, I mean, she's only got the plus 20 cultural relic, but she's got my real gear. So she's a little bit more deadly than everybody else right now. Just a little bit, though. I think she's still in an S50. No, she's got 25 guns. Plus 27. So I would totally feed that to my holy chest if I got an S35 gun that I could equip. Maybe I'd fortify it like one more time to get an even higher percent, but yeah, it should be fine. Oh, and I'm out of charms again, so I need to grab one of those. Oh, that was pretty close. Easter eggs. Bunny lucky pack. Oh, there's an Easter event on? Gosh. How many events are going on right now? Where's the open up the box button? That's furniture, 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 furniture. These are the same bunny ears as last year. That, I don't think that one's new. The carrot's most certainly not new. That's not new. So we got a couple of archivable ones, but I think mostly just new furniture. Furniture is good though. Oh, is the first one the only actual new one? Furniture is nice though in these events because if what you really are after is just having items for your archive, both the green and the orange versions of the furniture are archivable. But I'm not super worried about that given that I'm already over the top. How dare you kill my pumpkin? Yeah, these bombs are kind of special because they can kill your contract. If your partner is so cruel as to detonate them before the contract runs away. I got my charm on. Alright, then we're gonna run Dimension Hall and I'll see if I have to do any dailies to hit my my target of oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to run some dailies, but then I still have to do my typing for the day. What time is it? Bedtime. It's okay if I skip my my typing test for one day, right? You guys will forgive me if I don't do my typing practice on a stat holiday? Forgivable. But I'm not doing it on the live stream, that's for sure. That would be embarrassing as heck. I'm using the website typing.com. It is definitely for children because it's actually got a thing where you can use a code from your classroom to join your class. It's cute. It's cute. It's whatever. It's got achievements. And, you know, as an achievement hunter, I can't possibly not aim to get all the achievements. Oh. Yeah, Blinko, you can just kill him. Or not. Alright, well. Oh, only 0.5%. You know what? I'm gonna decide it's more important that I get my typing practice in, and I'll just do an extra 0.5% tomorrow on my experience here. Does it have a homicidal owl? Not in the slightest, but anyway, that's it for tonight. I gotta do my typing test. Typing practice, I guess it's not really a test. And thanks so much for stopping in to join me, just for some main quest and bot dungeons, even though you guys didn't get me any items for it. I'll forgive you this time. But we'll catch you next time. Thanks so much. Where's the buttons? My windows are all messed up. Bye!